Hey guys, Tabo2 here with another episode of my TARDIS tutorial. Today is something I've been working on for the past few minutes. There's still some command blocks around from testing, but this is a small but, in my opinion, interesting feature. So basically I'm just going to show this off. So let's go down the hallway where I've added a room. You already see some name tags. And this is the secondary control room as seen in the Fourth Doctor's time in the show, where basically I think the main control room, something was wrong with it, I don't really remember what, but prompted him to use this one instead, which was in one of the hallways. And basically what I've done this episode is made it to where if you were to do something like this, make a console room in another room that, isn't part of that interior selection system and is actually like separate, you would then be able to use that as a proper TARDIS. So each of these three controls, the ones with labels, actually do function. This one does nothing. But as you can see, if I just do something like this, it'll lock and unlock the door. If I were to lock and then dematerialize, well, coolant level too low, but get the point. It does work, and if that had worked, then this travel thing would select through locations. You'd have to walk all the way back here, but you could always just put another door with a command block in that room if you really wanted to, just so you can get out of the TARDIS quicker. Obviously, getting back in, you'd have to walk all the way around, but obviously there's nothing really yet that would make you have to use that room. It's just kind of an idea. So in order to make that console room actually function the same as this one, it's not as simple as like just hooking up a command block looking for those things to be powered and then powering all the same stuff that would power all this. It's not that simple. I tried that and it went very badly, to say the least. I'm not going to go into it, but here's what we have now. So it's a little bit easier. You don't really have a ton for each control. So let's start with the door lock, since that's chronologically what you do first. So it's obviously just looking for the execute if the block, the comparator, those coordinates is in mode subtract. So that's very simple, and if so, what it'll actually do is set block at the coordinates of the door lock comparator on the actual console. It will change that comparator to subtract mode as well, and facing east, just make sure it's facing the same way. And then once that is turned off again, what it will do is let's activate this one, which is sets that exact same comparator back to compare mode, so like this, where it doesn't have that. So basically, in a nutshell, what's going on is when you pull the, well, not pull, it's not a lever, when you activate the comparator in the secondary room, it also activates the one in the main room, which in turn activates the whole system of command blocks elsewhere. So that's how that works. It's the exact same concept with these, so dematerialization. It's just looking for that other comparator to be on subtract mode, and if it finds that, it'll set the block of the demat lever to a powered lever, obviously still facing east and on the floor, and then obviously when that turns off, this will come on, and it'll set that exact same lever back to powered false. So basically, in a nutshell, it's as simple as just the comparators in the secondary control room power everything in the main control room. Same thing goes with location. It's as simple as execute if the location labeled comparator is on subtract, and if so, the button, the polished blackstone button that sets the location and cycles through it, will be made to be powered. And because it's a button, I just did a repeater, and then so that a moment later it'll change it back to being unpowered, so that it just functions like a button. And obviously, like in the normal control room, it basically will just cycle through the locations. So yeah, adding any more controls, it's as simple as that. Just make it to where the comparator in that room, or any control, doesn't have to be a comparator. Somebody pointed out to me though that that one didn't really have big, elaborate buttons and switches, so, you know, makes sense that it would be something small like that. But yeah, just when those are on, it'll power the corresponding control in the main control room, and it'll have an on and an off state via an inverter torch like that. And in the button's case, just have the button turn back off after a moment. So yeah, extremely simple this time, and I'll just show you that working again. Obviously this secondary control room doesn't have like half as many functions as the main control room, and we still have to do coolant down here, obviously, to get this to work properly. But let's head up here and show off one final time. So we can lock the doors from in here, we can unlock them, lock them again, and then we can go into flight. That works, as you can see. And then travel. Let's go to that ravine, turn off flight, and I'm going to show you something that'll actually happen. If we leave the doors locked in this control room, we can actually still go to the main control room, and we can unlock them from here, and that'll actually work. Now, it won't set the comparator in this room back to an unpowered one, so as you can see, you would think that the door would still be locked because obviously this comparator is still on, but believe it or not, the door is unlocked. But if you really wanted to, you could come in here and just turn that off, and you can see the door didn't change. It is still unlocked, and in fact, if we walk outside, it is unlocked, and we can walk outside into the desert ravine. So yeah, this has been my tutorial how to make a secondary control room that actually does function in the TARDIS. I hope you all enjoyed. Be sure to subscribe, to follow my Instagram, Tebow2YT, and that is all. See you all in the next episode. Goodbye.